That vial cost $300. One wrong move and it is gone before the first injection. Most guys destroy their peptides without ever knowing it. Preparation is the step everyone skips and the one that decides everything. Here is the exact process: reconstitution, dosing, injection technique, storage broken down step by step, done right from the very first vial. The injection starts here, on the table. Why do guys blame the peptide when it never works? 5 things every single time. First, your peptide vial. Inside is lyophilized powder. Freeze-dried peptide in its most stable form. Raw, dormant, ready to activate the moment water touches it. That process, reconstitution, happens the moment water touches it. Everything starts here. Second, bacteriostatic water. This is the only water that belongs in this process. Bacteriostatic water contains benzyl alcohol, a preservative that actively prevents bacterial growth inside the vial. Once mixed, your reconstituted peptide stays safe and effective for up to 28 days. Standard sterile water carries no preservative protection. Bacteriostatic water is the standard. Use it every time. Third, 2 syringes. One larger 3 milliliter syringe with an 18 to 23 gauge needle for drawing and transferring the water. One insulin syringe with a 28 to 31 gauge needle for the actual injection. The insulin needle is the one going into your body. At that gauge, it is virtually painless. The size difference between the 2 syringes is intentional and important. Fourth, alcohol prep pads. One for the bacteriostatic water vial, one for the peptide vial, one for your injection site, 3 pads minimum per session. Fifth, a sharps container for safe needle disposal after every injection. Everything on the table before you begin. Preparation is the protocol. How do you actually reconstitute a peptide? Room temperature first. Both the peptide vial and the bacteriostatic water need to sit at room temperature before anything happens. Cold reconstitution stresses the molecular structure. 2 to 3 minutes on the counter is enough. Clean the top of the bacteriostatic water vial with an alcohol prep pad. Draw your water into the 3 milliliter syringe. Standard dilution runs 1 to 2 milliliters per vial depending on your specific peptide and dosing protocol. Your provider gives you the exact number. Follow it precisely. Now clean the top of your peptide vial. Here is the technique that protects everything you just paid for. Tilt the vial slightly. Aim the needle tip at the glass wall, not at the powder sitting at the bottom. Insert the needle and inject the water slowly, letting it run gently down the inside wall of the vial. The water reaches the powder gradually. The peptide dissolves on its own terms. Remove the needle. Now roll the vial gently between your palms. A slow circular swirl works too. The powder dissolves naturally over 2 to 3 minutes. The finished solution looks completely clear. Transparent, clean, still. Clear means ready. That is reconstitution done correctly. Every step protects the peptide chain you are about to inject. How do you draw an accurate dose? Switch to the insulin syringe, the small one, 28 to 31 gauge. Clean the top of the peptide vial again with a fresh alcohol prep pad. Insert the needle through the center of the rubber stopper. You might turn the vial upside down and confirm the needle tip sits fully submerged in the liquid. Pull the plunger back slowly and draw slightly past your target dose. Check for air bubbles. Tap the syringe gently to move any bubbles toward the top. Push the plunger just enough to release the air and land exactly on your target dose. One reading note worth knowing. Insulin syringes are marked in units. 100 units equals 1 milliliters. A 0.2 milliliters dose reads as 20 units on the syringe. Understanding the markings keeps every dose precise. Syringe loaded. Dose confirmed. Ready to inject? Where and how do you inject? 3 injection sites work best for subcutaneous peptide injections. The abdomen is the primary choice for most people. Target an area at least 2 inches from the belly button with enough soft tissue to pinch between 2 fingers. The outer thigh works equally well, front or side, midway between knee and hip. Upper arm is a valid option for those comfortable reaching it. Clean your chosen site with an alcohol prep pad using a slow circular motion. Let it air dry completely, 10 to 15 seconds. The skin should feel dry to the touch before the needle goes in. Full evaporation means full disinfection and a comfortable, sting-free injection. Injection angle depends on your body. If you can pinch at least 2 inches of soft tissue at the site, 90 degrees straight and works well. If tissue is leaner and the pinch is under 2 inches, 45 degrees keeps the needle in the fatty subcutaneous layer and away from muscle. Match the angle to your body. That precision matters for absorption and comfort. Pinch the skin between thumb and forefinger. Lift the fatty tissue slightly away from the muscle beneath it. Insert the needle smoothly in one clean motion. Press the plunger slowly and steadily until fully depressed. Count 5 seconds before withdrawing. That pause ensures complete dose delivery before the needle leaves the tissue. Pull straight out. Apply gentle pressure with a cotton ball if needed. Clean entry, clean exit. Full dose delivered. Why does injection site rotation matter so much? Rotating sites every single injection protects tissue integrity and maintains consistent absorption. Injecting the same spot repeatedly causes a condition called lipohypertrophy, a buildup of fibrous tissue at the injection site that physically blocks proper peptide absorption. The peptide enters the body, but the tissue around it no longer absorbs it efficiently. Results decline. The protocol stays the same. The tissue is the variable. Build a rotation system and follow it. Left side of the abdomen, 1 session. Right side, the next. Thighs after that. At least 1 inch of separation between every injection site within the same area. A predictable rotation produces predictable absorption. Predictable absorption produces consistent results. Rotation is discipline. Discipline is the entire difference. How do you store peptides after reconstitution? Reconstituted peptide goes directly into the refrigerator after every use. Not the freezer, the refrigerator. Target temperature between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius. Standard refrigerator range. With bacteriostatic water as your diluent, the reconstituted solution stays effective for up to 28 days. One detail most people overlook. Many peptides are light sensitive. A clear glass vial sitting on a refrigerator shelf with the light cycling on and off every time the door opens is enough to cause gradual degradation over time. Wrap clear vials in aluminum foil or store them in a dark container inside the refrigerator. That one step protects the molecular structure across the full 28-day window. Before every injection, do a visual check. A healthy solution is completely clear. Discard immediately if the solution shows cloudiness or haziness, visible particles floating in the liquid, gel-like consistency instead of clean liquid, any discoloration, or persistent foam that stays after gentle swirling. A small amount of bubbles during the draw is completely normal. Persistent foam or cloudiness after settling is the signal to discard. The investment is too significant to inject a compromised solution. Store it correctly. Check it every time. Protect the investment. What are the 5 mistakes that destroy every peptide? Results live and die in how you handle and inject. The stack is the easy part. Handling is where it's won. 1. Shaking the vial. Peptides are chains of amino acids held together by delicate molecular bonds. Shaking breaks those bonds. It creates foam. It causes aggregation, peptides clumping together and losing structural integrity. Always swirl gently, always roll between palms. The mix happens on its own. 2. Spraying water directly onto the powder. Aim at the glass wall. Let the water run down the side and reach the powder gradually. Direct spray creates the same foaming problem as shaking. The peptide degrades before the first dose is drawn. 3. Reconstituting cold peptides. Room temperature first, always. For both the peptide vial and the bacteriostatic water. Cold reconstitution stresses the molecular structure from the first contact. 2 minutes on the counter prevents the problem entirely. 4. Wrong injection angle for your body. The angle depends on your tissue depth at the injection site. And 2 inches of pinchable tissue, 90 degrees. Less than 2 inches, 45 degrees. Matching the angle to your anatomy keeps the peptide in the subcutaneous layer where it belongs. 5. Injecting before the alcohol dries. Let the prep pad evaporate completely, 10 to 15 seconds. The injection stings through wet alcohol and the disinfection is incomplete. Patience at this step costs nothing. 5 mistakes, every one of them avoidable. Every one of them directly impacts your results. What matters more than perfect injection technique? Technique protects the investment. The investment only pays off if everything behind it is already in place. Sleep, protein, resistance training. These are the foundations peptides amplify. Without them, perfect injection technique is perfect delivery of something with nowhere to go. Build the foundation. Master the technique, then let the stack do its work. Peptides reward the prepared, in every sense of the word. Like this video, share it with someone running their first cycle. Drop your peptide questions in the comments. Subscribe for more research-backed content. Next one is already coming.